know, sometimes it's like we come in on Monday, it's like, oh my God, here he goes, another class that we're gonna have to listen about products and crap, you know, like. But I really appreciate you guys coming. So because this product here is for me, it's changed a little bit of my way I do hair and the way the hair comes out. And I want to share with you guys. This is not I'm not trying to sell you on anything. I'm a stylist behind the chair. I'm a salon owner as well. So for me, I'm just gonna tell you my experience as behind the chair, and hopefully you can relate to it and, you know, enjoy the product as well, just like I've been enjoying it. And also the owner seems to be enjoying it as well. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I want to talk about the two main products here that we bring up is Truss is a company that cares about blonde. So anything that you have to do with blonde, that's all they care about. Healthy blonde, make sure that the blonde comes out bright, make sure that the blonde comes out fast, beautiful, and everything like that. So the first two ingredients that they came out with was the Blanc Blond bleach and the Libre. Now you might ask, what are the difference between them? Pretty simple. Blanc Blond, it is an argan oil, so it's not clay based. None of these products here are clay based. The reason why they decided not to do clay based is because if you notice in other products, whenever they use clay based, clay absorbs what? Moisture, right? And it happens to do what? It stops the oxidation. So that's why we're having so many, for the past like 5 years, I've been having so much trouble using other products, trying to pass that yellow stage and orange stage, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is driving me crazy. I have to do double process, which is not good sometimes for the hair. So when Truss came out to me and they told me that they didn't use clay, I was like, all right, well, let's try it. So what it does is it continues processing. It slows down the power, but it doesn't stop processing. So you're able to keep going while, you know, it's sitting there, and it protects it. So this one has argan oil. This is gonna be your super fast Speedy Gonzalez type of guy, okay? You put it in a foil, literally 30 minutes later, you're gonna have blonde. Like, this is not the one that you sit down and, you know, take 3 more clients and then have a seat and then go chat with your friends about the client that you had before, blah, blah, blah. No, you have to wash it, because if not, it will sneak up on you, and you all of a sudden you open the foil and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to rinse this like right away, because if not, the hair is gonna come on. Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning. Haven't seen anywhere. We just got started, so don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Just my name. My name is Mickey, by the way. So if you're needing somebody, for me, I live in Orlando. We have a lot of hair like yours, dark, and they want to be, for some reason, blonde, right? How many of you guys have clients like that? Yeah, all of us. They're like, can I be blonde tomorrow or today? And you're like, no. And they're like, but I don't want to come back. And you're like, I don't want you to leave my chair, you know? So we still kind of try to do it as much as you can. So this is gonna be your guy. The ratio that we do it is gonna be 1 scoop. So if you go around, if I open this up for you, it's 1 scoop. Hopefully my I brought this from my salon because
did they gank your scooper?
I was kind of late, so they took my scooper.
I have a scooper. You want a scooper?
Yeah, can you yeah. They took my scooper. I told them not to take my scooper. Oh, I got one right here. Yeah, man. I got
you found it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
you
stop
lost your
taking
scoop?
the scoopers. They always want to do this. Like, I'm like, stop doing that. That's like a waste of product. So this is a scoop, guys. What I like about this is that there is no such a thing as like, am I measuring right? Am I measuring wrong? 1 scoop for the whole entire head, okay? So if you have somebody that's gonna get partial, what are you gonna do? Thank you so much for participating. Half a scoop, okay? That's all it takes. There's no like, you know, science to this. It's 1 scoop for a whole head, and trust me, it will cover a whole head. Like, you think this scoop is like not that big, but once you pour it into a bowl, it becomes pretty big. Real quick, I want to talk about, before I mention this one, this is the 8 times powder. This is gonna be our bump builder, okay? It is made out of beeswax. That's what's protecting it. Okay, so this one has a little scoop. Hopefully they didn't take it out. Oh, thank God they didn't do it. So this one has a little scoop, like this. So if you do 1 scoop of this, how many scoops do you think we're gonna do? Yeah, that's right, just 1 scoop. So there's no science to it. I mean, it's pretty simple, 1 to 1, and that's it. again, this is gonna protect your hair. This is not a bleach, okay? I do classes all over the world, all over the nation, and one time we went to a class, and the next day or a week later, I get a message, and the stylist was like concerned why the hair was not lifting, and I was like, what do you mean? I mean, like, if you use the bleach, it's gonna lift. It's like the 8 times powder, it's not lifting. And he was Spanish, so I'm trying to like, he's like, it's not lifting. It says 8 times powder, but it doesn't lift like 8 times.
No.
He was using just the 8 times powder to lift the hair. Okay. If you have this, you mix with this, okay? This doesn't mix by itself, okay? So this goes with this guy. You don't have to mix it by itself, but I recommend you do because again, it's protecting the hair. What I do in my salon, it's like, I don't tell the client that I'm gonna, like, you can upcharge for this, right? But for me, it became one of those things where I don't like the client to tell me what to do, right? So if I tell the client, hey, would you like a bond builder to protect your hair? What are they gonna say? I think my hair feels okay, so I don't think I need it this week. Can we do it like next time? No, I don't deal with that kind of situation. So I just include it in the price. So if I do a highlight, I add a little bit more to that highlight just because I wanna make sure that they get this, because at the end of the day, the hair is gonna come out perfect and I don't need that worry that it's gonna break or damage or something like that, okay? So I just include it in the price of whatever I'm doing to that situation. So don't try to get your client to tell you what to do, okay? Because that's very important.
Can you tell us more about the beeswax? What is so important about the beeswax?
Well, the beeswax was protecting like the cuticle right there. So they don't like to use any type of, like if you notice in here, they're not very strong on chemicals. If you notice in here, this Air Libre, it has 7 different types of oils, right? And you can read on that. And the main ingredient in here is collagen. So the owner is from Brazil, right? And she comes from Brazil, and everything about over there is being very natural, and the health of the skin and the health of the hair. So for her was, how can we make products that are not so like chemically like, produced, right? So even the water that they use, they filter it from from Brazil. So it's not like water here that's like mixed with like bleach and chlorine and all this kind of stuff. So that's why the product, whenever you feel the hair afterwards, it's amazing, because the number 1 ingredient in every single product is what? Water. Right? Water, right? So if you have bad water here in Florida, which we do, we have horrible water, and then you have bad water, chemically water mixed with your products, what is that gonna do? It's gonna make it even worse, right? So they mix everything to make sure that everything in the ingredients in the products is very natural and very health concern, okay? I wanna pass around the products. Before I do, let me talk about Air Libre real quick. So, Blanc Blond is for foiling, okay? You can use it open air as well, but I will suggest that you put a barrier in between the hair, because if not, it's going to translude into the next hair, okay? So foiling up to 7 levels and higher, okay? I have tested it, trust me, do not think it's gonna stop at 7 levels. If you let it sit, it will continue going, okay? And if you what I usually do is I have an assistant, and I usually do the foils. By the time I get to the front, I have my assistant checking the back and opening the foils and kind of like playing with it, okay? Not putting more bleach on it, just kind of moving it around to kind of reactivate that bleach again, okay? What was your question in the back?
Did I miss the developer on that?
No, you didn't. Good question. So the developer, we don't have developers, okay? You can use whatever developer you want as long as it is professional, okay? And what I mean professional, I don't mean you go to Walmart and find a developer for $2 and put it in here, okay? I mean like good. I see that you guys use Wella here. That's what you guys use Wella here?
I have Go Well.
Go Well.
Yeah, I've been using the Go Well developer with it.
Exactly.
It's fine.
Anything high
volume and it lifts and
anything high end is gonna work. Okay. So the reason why, because we're coming from Brazil, it is so hard to like travel with all that product, and like sometimes it costs more money to ship everything here than to get, to actually sell it. So they decided, you know what, let's make sure that we have the ingredients, and then developer, again, you can get developer anywhere in the United States. So
you don't have to judge your end result and do 20, 30, or 40. The bleach.
Yeah, I mean,
and
if you
time just
gotta
does
remember,
it
20
quickly.
is 20, 30, and 40. All it is just speeding up the process, right?
Right.
So 40 is gonna go a lot faster, right? It's gonna open the cuticle a lot more. So that's just speed. Developers, it's more about speed and not really like how much it's gonna lift. It's
But
more
I
about
just-
the speed.
What I'm just saying is this is fast enough, which is 20.
Yes,
I found
only
it to be fast enough
Yes.
for 20.
to answer your
Yeah,
question.
That
Yes,
was
I
my-
only
that
use
was my question.
Yeah.
I only use 20 and
Yeah.
30 maybe sometimes, okay? Because I know that 20 is gonna lift it and it's gonna give me the result, even if I just let it sit there. You know, so my appointments are about 3 hours. I do balayage and extensions. That's all I do. I don't do anything else. So my appointments for balayage is 3 hours. And after 3 hours, if I cannot lift you past that point that you want, then I tell you to come back. Because at that point, I really do feel that your hair is almost getting like, we're pushing it too much, right? So if at 3 hours your hair is like, you know, not really lifting, I mean, I don't leave them 3 hours, but
Right.
maybe an hour or so, an hour and a half. Sometimes I do leave them for an hour and a half, and trust me, it'll be okay. With the Air Libre, and with 20 volume, it doesn't really do anything. It just literally just sits there and protects it.
Okay.
Okay? Question.
Do you do it under a dryer?
You don't have to. It depends. So with this guy, I almost recommend to like get used to it first before you put it under the dryer, because again, I cannot emphasize this enough. It is fast.
I bought some at the hair show and I used it on 2 of my clients, and I kind of wished I would have put them under the dryer, but I was so nervous. But I mean, I got the 8-time stuff, but it did
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it does
I just
good.
did it with
You can
20.
put it under the dryer. You can put it under the processor. It doesn't really do anything to the hair, so it's so good. I mean, sometimes depending on the situation, if I'm like, I need my next client is coming, I put it under the processor for like 10 minutes. But the key is, guys, and I'm gonna say this again because it happened to me. Go back to the foil, open it, and play with it. Because for some reason, I don't know why, once you play with it, it's like it kind of like gives it an extra kick, and it goes even faster. It lifts even more. Okay. So if you're having like that problem that you're looking at it and you're like, you know, it's still kind of there, go in there and just kind of like play with it a little bit, and check it after 5 minutes, and I promise you it's gonna be even higher than where you looked at it. Okay. So always come back to the foil. All right, so that's that one.
I haven't put it under the dryer. It's fine.
Yeah, you can put it on the.
I put it under the dryer because I needed one day. I was like, I gotta hurry.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I did. I was like, her back was like he said, her back was ready. I did a heavy blonde oil, and her back was ready. So I rinsed it and then slapped her underneath there for that last little mohawk section to come up, and
Yeah.
it was fine. It didn't feel bad or anything.
It doesn't
So,
feel, it's
it
pretty
was
good. So this is my favorite guy, okay? I know this is fast and everything, but since I do a lot of balayage, I could do it with this guy, but this is my favorite guy, and I tell you why. So because in Florida we don't have that many virgin hair, I mean, or in the United States, I don't think there's that many virgin hair. This is gonna be my guy. Air Libre is gonna be my guy that I know at the end of the day, this is gonna protect it, and it's like having like I just said this, but it's like having like Jesus standing next to you the whole entire time, next to the hair, going, "Oh, everything is okay, everything is okay." Like literally, it's like you can leave and like look back and be like, "All right, there's somebody taking care of it, even though nobody's there." That's why I trust this guy to the fullest. The reason why is, like I said before, the 7 different types of oils. Okay, so while the hair is lifting, the collagen and the oils is kind of repairing that hair at the same time. Okay, you can use it in foils. All right, it will still lift. I know this says 7 and this says like up to 5 levels, 7 levels with foils. It will lift, trust me. If you let it sit there and you put it under heat, it will lift continuously and continuously. This is gonna be way faster, but this is gonna be safer. So this is what I do. If you come in and you had hair that has already been processed, it's already been chemically touched, it's already been highlighted, guess what I'm gonna use? This guy. Because I know at the end of the day, those oils and the collagen is gonna protect that hair more than this guy. Now, if the hair is thick and dark, and maybe it's been lifted once or so and like not really been through so much, then I can use this guy, you know? It's still gonna protect it. It's gonna be just fine with the 8 times powder. But this guy is your savior. This guy is like the guy that's like gonna protect it 100%, even with this guy, okay? So you can use it without foils, and it's gonna lift 5 levels and higher, okay? So what I mean by that, when I paint, right, I let it sit. When I come back, let's say 20 minutes later or 30 minutes later, and I'm like, oh, it still needs a little bit more, I'm going to grab a little bit more product and kind of play with it, just like on the parts that it has bleach, and it keeps this together.
Does that act more like a clay lightener or not?
There's no clay in this, but it acts like a clay liner, okay? So don't get it wrong, there's no clay because clay absorbs moisture. I was saying that earlier. Our bleach doesn't have clay because they wanted to make sure that the moisture doesn't get in there and it dries out. After using this for maybe an hour or so, you'll go back to the hair and feel it, and it's still soaking wet, like it's still super moist, okay? The way I use this is 1 scoop of Air Libre, 1 scoop of 8 times powder, and then I do like one scoop of the developer. But you can do 2 if you want it more runny for foiling. But for painting that I do like 1, okay? Sometimes I kind of do a little bit less than 1 because I like it thick and make sure that it stays in it. So that's Air Libre. Again, this guy is amazing. If you haven't tried it, please try it. For painting, it's amazing, and for foiling as well.
So if you really care about the integrity of your client's hair, you're going to use that.
Yes, you can use both, but this guy, because he has collagen and all the oils, the integrity of the hair will not be in jeopardy at all if you use this guy.
And even if it takes longer, you're just going to work on another customer at the same
exactly.
time.
Even if it takes, listen, sometimes we have to make, I know we want to speed up, and we have to, we have to take clients in, and we have to rush because money in our pocket is very important, right? That's like the more clients we get, the more money. But at the end of the day, if a client wants something and they are designed this look and the integrity of the hair is, not there and stuff, you have to make sure that you charge them for it. You have to make sure that you tell them the right things. So the hair at the end of the day, you're not, because at the end of the day, if the hair is a little damaged and they're their first time with you, guess who they're gonna blame? They're gonna blame you. They're not gonna blame 10 other stylists that they've been doing their hair with. They're literally gonna blame you the first time, and that's it. So I rather make sure that I take care of them. I even tell them, like when they sit on my consultation, I always do consultation. I don't do phone consultation. I say, sit down, have a seat. And I'm pretty straightforward without being rude. I said, look at your hair and touch it. I want you to touch it, because once they feel it and touch it, that's when you put in their head. It's so psychological. They put in their head, it's like, my hair is really bad, so I'm gonna need all this stuff to make sure that it comes out good, okay? And they trust you right after that. So we have any questions about the Air Libre and Blanc Blond? Yes.
Okay, on the developers are the same on both, as far as one.
Same on both. Yes. You can use professional developer. So I would recommend talking to your distributor and finding out what they use and stuff like that, and then you can get.
Yeah, I meant amount.
Amount the same. So yes. So again, everybody's different. I like it more thicker. Some people like it more watery. So it's up to you. It's up to whatever your preference is. That's what you should keep doing. Okay. Don't change it because I say use one scoop.
Well, and the 1 scoop, just from my personal, and since you've used it, is a lot. It's a lot.
I cut
It seems very small, right? It seems very small, but then when you put it in the cup and you start mixing, you're
it's like,
this is a lot of bleach.
It's great if you have a lot of hair to foil, but if on a couple of my people, just for a retouch, on their highlights, I just mix up half the formula.
Me too.
Just cut it in
Same
half.
thing.
Okay.
Because you don't need
1 full.
No,
it's
not unless
a
you
lot.
have
Depending on what you use.
not unless you have roots from last summer and you're talking, you
Yeah,
need
yeah.
a lot, and then you can always go back and mix more. I'm always
Another
like
good
that.
thing is, she said, I always like to go back and mix.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than let it sit there,
So
because
I
like I
found
said,
that whole scoop, I was like, ooh.
like I said, it doesn't stop the power, but it doesn't stop the power, but it loses the power after a while. So I'd rather just
I
you
don't
know,
if you
go
have a
back
scale.
and
I
then
use
come
a scale.
forward, go back and forward
And I just
every single
measure
time.
by-
But I know like most of the time I'd use a scoop because
So
I
I
know I'm
do
gonna
a
use it. Like
scale
I'm doing a
and I
whole
just-
entire
yeah.
hair.
And there on the back it has
And
instructions.
it doesn't
and
like,
I just
it
put
looks
the
so
instructions
light
in.
and fluffy, but when
Like,
I
you
mix
can
it, it's not light.
Yeah,
All
It
in my
doesn't.
face
That's and
at
another
all.
good thing is, guys. I want to pass this around because I don't know if
And
you
I
all
use it with
have
it
you all
about 8 times
seen
flatter
it
and
before.
feels good
No.
with it.
Okay. I want you to smell it, and I even give it to my clients too, because I want them to smell it. I want them to smell the 8 times powder because everybody now is all about the whole health thing. Like, oh my God, is it gonna give me cancer? Is it gonna give me this? Is it gonna... So I want to make sure that they smell it because this is like it smells delicious. You might almost want to eat it sometimes. Like, you think I'm joking, but I'm not. This one smells like oatmeal
The
here.
consistency.
So just this smell.
It is.
Hand it around, Rich.
Yeah, I liked working that.
It painted really
It did. It did.
So I like my clients to smell it because I want them to know that I'm not putting anything crazy that's gonna be like super strong in their hair. Also, when they lay down on the shampoo, you know, a lot of time when they lay down shampoo, sometimes they get those fumes. With this, they won't get those fumes. That's another thing that I like. They'll sit there and relax, and they're like, the question that I get is they're like, oh my God, this like I don't smell anything. Like it's amazing. So for me, it's all like a selling point. It's all an experience that you want to give a client, and that's why I like Truss because the experience changed, right? It's okay. The experience changed for me as a stylist and my clients as well. So at the end of the day, I'm getting so many clients now because the experience is coming out amazing. People are telling them how good the hair is coming out. One, how healthy it is, and then at the end of the day, they're talking about how they don't smell chemicals or anything like that. So that's good for them. Okay. Another thing that I like about the product too is that when you put it on the ball, it doesn't swell up like most bleaches out there. Okay. So after like an hour or so, you're still gonna be able to play with it and not be like pulling out of the bowl, or you're trying to make a new one. So those are the bleaches. Any other questions about the bleach? No? You guys gonna use it? Just kidding. No, it's quite amazing, so I love it.